Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and welcome to our channel today. It's good to have you, and welcome back to all of our subscribers. And if you're new to the channel, if you're finding us for that very first time, welcome as well. It's good to have you. If you would, please consider hitting the subscribe button, consider hitting that like button, and consider becoming a member. And to learn more about me and learn more about my company and how we can help take your gym and help your business to that next level, please check out the links below. Now, with that said, let's get into our topic today, and this is 5 mistakes that can derail your gym business. 5 mistakes that can derail your gym business. Okay, so if you're new, you're getting started, you need help with the business plan, you're getting your education on the business, let's look at these things and we'll talk about how this can relate. Or if you're in business right now, maybe you're not hitting your numbers, does some of this apply? Okay, or if you are hitting your numbers, can we look at some of these things and do a little better job to take us to an even higher level? So with that said, let's get into it. 5 mistakes that can derail your gym business. And so number 1, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. I get into conversations with folks a lot, and we start talking about positive attitude and all this, and I'll kind of throw out that question. What's the difference between denial and positive attitude? Okay, and at the end of the day, it's going to be from where I sit, it's going to be writing that plan of action, right, and really knowing exactly here's how we're going to do this. But what can derail your gym business? Well, it's wishful thinking. Okay, let me give you some examples. I see this with new club startups a lot. Okay, and maybe someone has written a business plan and they want it reviewed, and so they'll send it over. And a lot of times we'll look at it. One of the common mistakes when it comes to wishful thinking that I see is the revenues are real high. Okay, I know there's been on more than one occasion where I've called the customer back and said, hey, can this still work if you do half those revenues, or if we grow it maybe half as fast? Because a lot of times it's wishful thinking. It's a lot of times on those revenues, it's dependent upon everything going 100% exactly right, okay, to get it done, which is hard. Okay, and then with wishful thinking, hey, we're building this big beautiful facility, it's going to be super nice, we're going to give the greatest service in the world, people are going to be lined up to come in. I mean, I hear that quite a bit. Okay, and we get into this wishful thinking, and it's an easy trap to get into. And some of the things that I like to do, this like on business planning aspects of it, we like to do it, from the entrepreneur standpoint. Okay, we're optimistic, but then the other side of it is, okay, from a banker's standpoint. Okay, the banker is not likely to have too much wishful thinking. He's going to go a little more conservative, and can you kind of bring the two into play? But on the wishful thinking, seek out advice. Seek out other people's opinions. Don't just look at it, from what I would call maybe rose-colored glasses sometimes. But generally speaking, wishful thinking has more to do with revenue production than anything else. It's, when I run this ad, this is going to be the thing that saves us. And it's rarely is there just one thing that's going to do that for you. So number 1 mistake that can derail a gym business is wishful thinking. And you can probably apply this to many things, in your business. Number 2 is what I would call faulty thumb rules. Rules of thumb kind of thing. Faulty thumb rules. And let me give you an example of what I see, and maybe I'll have even a bigger example here for you. But a faulty thumb rule. Say, for example, you've done your budget and your gross margin, the margins your business is going to run at from a profitability standpoint, let's just say it's 22%. That's the number. And so during the course of a day, a week, a month, you have a prospect or several prospects come in and they ask for a discount. Hey, if I pay this in full, can I get a 10% discount? Or, hey, I'll go ahead and join the day if you waive the joining fee. Well, if you prepared your budget, based on a 22% margin, and you start giving 10% discounts, you start waiving joining fees, these are what I call faulty thumb rules, and you have to really be careful. I was with a group one time, we'd gotten involved, and they were looking to get this place turned around so they could get it sold, which we eventually did. And when we first got in there, they were really generating some big numbers, big revenues, but they were losing money every month, and it seemed to be getting worse. And as we kind of dug into it, what we found is based on how they were selling this combined package of training and nutrition and membership, and based on all the cost of goods and how they were discounting it and how they were paying commissions, literally they were losing money when they'd sign somebody up. They weren't making money till month number 4. And so be mindful of these faulty thumb rules. If we're going to be offering, that 10% discount, or if we're going to waive that joining fee, make sure this is all factored in, okay? This is one of the things that I see really does derail, a lot of companies. They say, oh yeah, we made our sales, but we discounted so many of them, okay? I'm not saying there's anything wrong necessarily with discounting, just we have to make sure that we factor this stuff in, okay? Number 3, this one's a big one, is we have an obsession with top-line growth. We have an obsession with top-line growth. Now, we want top-line growth, and what I mean by top-line growth, in most facilities, what we're talking about is membership sales. We want more membership sales. We want to retain more members. Yes, yes, yes. Of course we do, right? But we want more than just that. And I've given this example before. If I've got 2 facilities sitting here, this one's doing 50 sales, this one's doing 50 sales, okay, top line growth, it's strong, it's good. One can struggle, one flourishes. Well, why does this other one flourish? Okay, well, they do really well at the second sale. They do really well at the third sale. They do really well with member retention. And so the obsession with top line growth, it's all about membership sales. Okay, but we want to be mindful of the second sale. From where I sit, we do personal training normally as our second sale, depending on the type of facility you have. But we want to see 20%, buying that. We want to see 20% buying retail. We're looking at our attrition numbers and making sure those are in line. And so we've got, 2 or 3 or 4 other things that are revenue line items that we are focused on just as we are that top line. So that third mistake that can derail is that it's an obsession with the top line and not looking at second sale, third sale, retention, and things of this nature. Number 4 is what I would call cash flow bottlenecks. Cash flow bottlenecks. And what this is the weak links in the operation. And we see this a lot of times when we go in and do turnarounds, because when we do the turnaround, we have to get rid of non-producers. Okay, if these programs and processes are not producing, or we don't have a quick answer for it, we need to get rid of it. Okay, and if you look at kind of what I see on a more frequent basis, I'll use personal training. In many facilities, personal training, we're getting maybe a 5% penetration. Now that is a cash flow bottleneck right there, okay, if there ever was one. And from where I sit, we want to get those numbers up to about 20%, okay? But we're looking for these bottlenecks. We're looking for things that we're putting money into, we're putting time into, that simply are not producing the revenues that we need. Okay, so look at your operation. Do you have bottlenecks in there that aren't doing it, that we kind of justify it away a little bit? Personal training is the one that I see probably the most of. Number 5 of mistakes that can derail our business is a delayed realization of the problem. A delayed realization of the problem. And I get asked this question frequently, when I'm interviewed, is they'll say, well, Jim, what's the most difficult thing about consulting in the fitness industry? And my standard answer has always been, people don't call us until that patient is on the operating table, because it's a delayed realization of what's going on. We wait and wait and wait, we hope and hope and hope, we wish and wish and wish, but there's this delayed realization of what the problem is. And one of the things that I want to suggest here is, this is about knowing your metrics. This is about knowing your numbers. Okay, and if it's down 1 month, okay, maybe that's a blip. If it's down 2 months in a row, that's a different story. Okay, because now it's starting to become a recurring kind of thing. But track your numbers. Know your key performance indicators. Know exactly where you're at, and because we want to manage based on these objectives. I mean, maybe a simple thing is just knowing, hey, our sales number this month is we want to do 100, and we're 2 weeks in and we're projecting 75. Okay, you can see right there you've got a problem. Okay, you're down 25%. And now we want to manage based on these objectives, but don't wait to get help on something like that. Okay, so 5 mistakes that can derail your gym business. Wishful thinking. Give that one some thought. That happens a lot. Okay. Number 2, faulty thumb rules. Those rules of thumb there that we try to follow. Number 3, obsession with top line growth. Okay. Number 4, cash flow bottlenecks. And then delayed realization of the problem. Take a look, see where you're at. Folks, my name is Jim Thomas. My company is Fitness Management and Consulting. Appreciate you being here at the channel today. And to learn more about me and my company and how we can help take your business that next level, please check out the links below. And then if you've not yet done so, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Please consider becoming a member. And we look forward to seeing you all in that next video.